Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So, I'm really trying to keep my page and a lot of my content in a religious, but I'm also a very politically motivated person. So, my thoughts, not that anybody gives it what my thoughts are. Epstein, at this point, is a distraction. I believe we know we know the Clintons visited Epstein's Island. We know the Obamas, at least Michelle, was at the Epstein Island. We know a ton of celebrities were on the Epstein's Island. I think if we look at anything, if Trump has backed off of everything that he said for all these years, besides the fact that he's a liar, I figure he was threatened. Either that or he was dumb enough to believe that he wasn't on the list, and probably one of the biggest supporters of Epstein. They live very close to each other in Florida, but right now it's really a distraction. We're missing the fact that where's all this money that we Doge took care of? Where'd that go? Does Doge still, does Elon Musk still have all these contracts that, he's making $8 million a day? All these things are being cut in the big spending bill that are for the normal people, but the rich people are getting richer, which is normal in America and capitalism and whatnot. And then we wanted to, then we're forgetting the amount of money, the weapons, and everything else that we're sending to Ukraine, to Israel to fight a war that we also partake in. And we send people to bomb and to kill people while they're getting food. And, a large portion, if not the majority of the people who supposedly represent us, have Israeli flags as prominently displayed as their American flags. They just did a photo op with our Secretary of Defense, and it was American, Israeli, American, Israeli, American, Israeli, American flags. They're not part of our government. We're not part of them. If you want to be religious, then there's nothing that says that they're chosen people other than something in the Old Testament. And if you're saying something in Revelations was based on a dream. It nothing to do with Jesus, nothing to do with God. Revelations is based on a dream. As a Muslim, I don't know about other Muslims. I'm not trying to be friends with Christians. I'm not trying to support Christians. The Christianity of today has nothing to do with the Injil that Muslims believe in. There is nothing in today's Bible that was spoken by anybody but Paul. And anytime you see Jesus said, you have to really quantify where did that come from. And it almost always goes back to Paul. It's like Paul wrote the whole New Testament. And he came from Taurus where he worshiped Dionysus, and Christianity went from a single God and a messenger of God to a three-part God like Isis and Dionysus, and even the apostles didn't believe Paul or Saul. But my whole point to this is that we're really being distracted. We're being distracted. They have the ability to close down the voting that's coming up, whether he will or won't. I don't know. We're looking at the fact that he is essentially taking over the government with presidential whatever. It's not law. It's like, what's law is something that's voted on in our Congress and Senate. Something that's our state Congress and Senate, or our state House or Senate, and we vote on these things. Trump can't come up with this fallacy of a law and make it a law. It's just not the way it works. You could argue it in court, But let's face it, they keep putting more and more corrupt people in the situation. I sincerely believe that once and if those files are released, it's not just Trump that's a big name. A lot of these people who are in government, a lot of these people that we respected, a lot of these people who people look towards are going to be on this list. And it's going to rock this world, whether it be just America or around the world in general. We already know that the royal house in Europe is on it. You know, at least Andrew. The Clintons have a body trail, so there's no telling how deep they're into it. We know that Bill has a picture taken in a dress on his island. It is what it is. I think we're missing something. They're making too big of a deal of this, and they're making too many wishy-washy statements. We need to pay attention to what else they're doing, because this is really distracting everybody, which is usually when they do the most damage, not only to Americans, but the world. This is my thoughts. Have a good night.